Hey there. Today I want to talk about connecting with guardian angels, your guardian angel, my guardian angel. And here's how I came to this. This week I was teaching and working with my animal communication group and in the Live Your Best Life animal communication program. And I was leading them through a series of exercises with their animals. Hi, Barbara. Just warms my heart. And I was leading them through a series of exercises, connecting with their own animals, and to look at creating more of what you do want, to how it is that we focus, how it is that we communicate, how are we creating what we want in our lives, and how do you focus? How do you bring your intention with those around you? This could be with your animals. The same thing is with the people in your life and situations in your life. Same principles. And how do you increase your vibration? How do you move from feeling when you're in the yuck, what I call the yuck and stuck stuff, if you're feeling self-critical or you're self-doubt or what have you, if you're focusing on the things that aren't working in your life, the things that aren't working with your animal. For instance, if you're looking at animal behaviors, if your horse is pushing over you, or if your animal is spooky and scared, if they are if somebody's has had a recent injury or aging, or they're fearful and hiding under the bed all the time and not interacting, whatever the situation is. And how do you shift what's going on inside of you? And is that even possible? Like, how can you do that? And what is that all about? And working with how to tip your scale, basically. Because when you're in that stuff, when you're in that mode of thinking, and it could be stuff about yourself, it could be like, I'm scared about doing this, I don't feel like doing this, I don't want to do that, or can I, or who am I to do this or that, what have you, whatever the situation is, that creates its own momentum, right? And that has a lot of energy. And so how can you shift those kinds of things? And why does that matter in terms of what happens in relationship with your animals or your friends or your loved ones or with yourself? And when I say tip the scale, it also is another way of saying, how do you increase your vibrations? Because what those kinds of thoughts are lower in vibration, they are weighty, that you feel heavier, right? And move towards feeling better and lighter and brighter. And I was going to just talk about that today in the live stream. And I woke up this morning feeling very sad, missing my dad. And so I was looking at the question that I pose with my people in my group and clients, and with myself, because I use these things for myself. And how can I shift this? What else can I focus on? Or what can I do to find what is working? And I don't mean to do it in a way that ignores the sadness or ignores any of the feelings. In fact, it's a way to cultivate being with those things in a different way. And so I kept asking, so what can I do to feel differently in relation with my dad? Because I know that when I am missing someone like that, I am focused in the loss. I'm focused in the separation. I'm focused in what I don't have right then, right? And So I decided, this idea popped into my mind, to feel him as my guardian angel. And so then I started to doodle and draw what that would look like. And that immediately got me shifting. And then I started writing about how is it that I can recognize my dad living in me and through me. And I can feel both the sadness and the connection at the same time. So it opens my heart differently. And so this was my first doodle with that, and then I colored it. So it's really super simple. It's something that anybody can do. And just looking at that and painting it, once I started writing the words out of some of the ways that I know that I feel him living in through me and in my heart and with me. And once I drew one hand on my heart and the other hand reaching up and feeling him in contact as if he's touching my, like hand in hand, I felt better. And it helps me feel that connection. Now, I also know that he's not just around me, but he lives through me. And so the more I kept writing about how I know and can recognize what I've learned with him and how I can feel him, the better I felt. Again, it's not about ignoring the sadness. And then I decided I really wanted to paint it. And so, and I just, sometimes I like doing something like that more than once because I want to see what else comes through. And so I did a little bit more extensively. My dad was bald, so I didn't put any hair on him, and that got me laughing because when I look at that, I think it's really funny. And he has had a great sense of humor. And so I'm going to do it again because these colors are not as bright as what I really want them to be, but I can do this as many times as I want. And so I wanted to share this with you because this is the sort of thing that anybody can do at any time. You can just spend 5 minutes doodling something and bringing your attention to, if you have somebody that you love that has passed away, whether it's an animal or a person, you can do this sort of thing where you see them surrounding you and embracing you, and then write about how you know them, and that can open your sense of contact and connection. And when I look at these, it is a representation. It's a reminder. It brings me into that feeling of, oh yeah, and it reminds me, oh yeah, I do feel him. I can feel him. I live him. It's like we're each a living legacy of those that we have loved as they live through us. So, love you, Barbara. And thank you for joining me this morning. And I will see you next week.